Good morning, good morning. All right, we got 2 minutes before we're going to get started. Thank you everyone for joining us with Ask Doc Live. It is such a privilege and honor for Dr. Wallach to take 2 hours of his Friday to be with us today. I'm so excited to make just one more opportunity for us to ask Dr. Wallach questions and learn more about his research and everything that he has done. I mean, he's done so much more than probably 10 other doctors put together, minimum, at helping to improve our lives. I know I was super sick when I found out about Dr. Wallach, and his products have just changed my life. So I am honored to be able to be here as the host for the Ask Doc Live every Friday. And Dr. Wallach, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for your hospitality, and thank you for setting everything up. There's a little challenge there, but you gals did great. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so Dr. Wallach, share with us something that not everybody knows.
Okay, well, I think my journey started when I was 4 years old. Okay, I had a disease that nobody had heard of before, and they didn't have a name for it. I had behavioral problems. I was violent as a 4-year-old, and by the time I was 9, my parents, we lived on a little Angus farm in Missouri, and by the time I was 9, 5 years later, they had taken me to 20 different doctors who were experts in behavior and childhood diseases and pediatricians and all this kind of stuff, 20 doctors. And the last one, I'll never forget her name, is a little grandmotherly type lady, and her name was Mary Jane Skeffington. And she says, well, we're going to have to institutionalize him. And so I said, Mom, what does that mean? Remember, I'm 9 years old. I says, what does institutionalize mean? She said, well, they're going to put you in a hospital. I said, okay, how long am I going to be in the hospital? And I'd been to so many doctors and hospitals and clinics, you know, I knew the word. And she said, well, you might be there for the rest of your life. Well, that didn't sound very good to a 9-year-old. So that night, when we came home after dinner, you know, read the Bible and all that kind of stuff, little farmers. And they went to bed, and I'm sitting there by myself in my room, and I'm saying, okay, these guys are not going to get this right. And so why is it we're eating the same food that we're feeding the animals, growing the same food on the same land? We're giving them food, we're eating the same food, and none of the animals have what I got. So what's going on here? And then I realized, well, in addition to all the food we're giving them that we're eating, we were giving them also vitamins and minerals because we didn't have health insurance for them. So we gave them vitamins and minerals so they didn't get diseases. So, well, maybe it's one of those vitamins and minerals that we're giving them, preventing them from getting what I got. So the next morning, I took all their food and I put it in my pockets, in my blue jeans, my shirt pockets. I threw out the oatmeal and I put their little alfalfa pellets with all the vitamins and minerals in it into my cereal bowl and put milk in it. Did it again at lunchtime, did it again at dinner time. By 3 days, I was cured. After 5 years, getting worse and worse. In 3 days, I was cured. By the second week, I had a little old lady in church come up to me. She must have been 80 years old, about 100 pounds overweight. She came waddling up to me, white hair, you know, the usual stuff. And she says, well, I'm told that you can cure my diabetes. I said, ma'am, I'm only 9 years old. I don't even know what diabetes is. I'm sorry. But the word was getting around that I had cured myself because you know, I had been in the church and slamming the Bibles and screaming during the hymns and all this kind of stuff. And today it would be some form of autism with all the other variations and everything. And so I realized that we were giving them all these vitamins and minerals and preventing these diseases. So I started reading up on them. I'm 9 years old. I started reading up on these diseases in biology books. And sure enough, they're all nutritional deficiency diseases. Diabetes is a simple nutritional deficiency disease. It's not genetic. It's not autoimmune. All birth defects are not genetic. None of them are genetic, okay? Well, make a long story short, graduated high school in 1958 with honors, wrestled, played football, soccer, all that kind of stuff. Went to the University of Missouri and got my degree in agriculture. My major was in animal husbandry and nutrition. I was going to go back and be a really scientific farmer. And halfway through, one of my roommates, because I was wrestling for the University of Missouri, one of my roommates, you know, we're all the athletes, they put you by yourselves. And he says, well, he's going to go apply for veterinary school. I said, well, I didn't come here for that. He said, oh, come on with me. What the heck? Didn't have anything else to do. So I went and took the test, aced it. He says, well, there you go. Now you're going to be a veterinary student too. And so by 1962, I had my degree in agriculture. I was halfway through my degree in veterinary medicine, and I was running out of money, so I had to start working. And so I worked for the pathology department, helping with autopsies and stuff like that. Wasn't afraid of blood and so forth. And so I started learning about that. In Christmas, 1962, everybody else is on the holiday. I'm the new guy on the block, so they left me there in the pathology department by myself. Ran into the first mass die-off in America. 500 died in one night in one community. They brought me 50 bodies. I'm 22 years old. Did all the blood tests, did all the autopsy, did all this, that, and the other. Got it figured out. Got it published in 3 scientific journals. And I gave copies to everybody. I'm 22 years old. I'm giving this to everybody. Senators, governors. I gave it to state senators, U.S. senators. I gave it to Marlon Perkins. You're probably too young to remember Marlon Perkins, the old Mutual Omaha Kingdom show. Okay, I had worked for him as a kid in the petting zoos and things. And so I sent him a copy. And I graduated 1964 with 2 years left of my pathology degree. I had my veterinary degree, I had my ag degree, but I was only halfway through my path degree. So I went to Iowa State University to finish my pathology degree. And halfway through that 2 years, Perkins sends me a letter, says, okay, Wallach, I need you to go to Africa and work on the white rhino conservation project for me. Can't refuse Marlon Perkins. So he said, I'll get you back into graduate school if that's what you want to do when you come back, or you can work in the zoo, whatever you want. So I went to South Africa. I had to learn how to speak Afrikaans, Matabele, and Zulu. I didn't speak English for 2 years. Did not speak English for 2 years. I mean, we're talking out in the bush. This is not in the cities. I was out in the bush there for 2 years, not prepared to stay in Africa for the rest of my life. I had caught 200 white rhino, shipped them here to the States to save them because there's only 470 left back then. And today, if you see a white rhino in a zoo or a wild animal park, it's either ones that I caught or the offsprings, or the offsprings of the offsprings are the ones that I caught. So I'm very, very proud of that. Well, 2 years into it, I'm prepared to stay in Africa forever, and Perkins sends me another letter. He says, well, using your paper on the mass die-off from pollution, I got a $25 million grant from the National Institutes of Health, and we're going to use the big zoos in the cities as a canary in the mine, like the old coal miners, when the canaries would drop off the perch and die, and they knew there was dangerous gases, and they would flee from the mine and save themselves. So we want to use the zoos, so if these animals get the same diseases we get from pollution, we know when they're dying, we know to evacuate the city. So we want you to be the pathologist on the project. Can't refuse Marlon Perkins. He said, I'll get you back to Africa or whatever you want to do. Okay, came back. And this was at Washington University in St. Louis. Barry Commoner, the head of that department, and Marlon Perkins, myself. To make a long story short, in 10 years' time, between 1967 and 1977, I did 20,000 autopsies, 20 million chemistries, looking for pollution in the zoo animals, the big city zoos around the United States, and also the people who live within a 10-mile range of the zoos. They found that no people nor any zoo animals even got sick, let alone died from pollution. That never happened. And I also found out there were no genetically transmitted diseases. There were no genetically transmitted birth defects. They were all caused by nutritional deficiencies. Okay, got it published. And W.B. Saunders, the big medical publishing house for all the textbooks in the world, published my thesis, okay, as a textbook. It was 5,000 pages, so they edited it down to 1,200 pages. And I don't know what happened there. I'm missing you guys.
We still see you.
Oh, okay. Now I see you.
We still see you.
Okay, now I see you. Okay. And so at any rate, my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure because they show there were no genetically transmitted diseases, there were no genetically transmitted birth defects, they're all nutritional deficiencies, except for viruses and poisoning from doctors like thalidomide when they were giving women thalidomide for morning sickness, and they caused 10,000 American babies to be born without arms and legs and stuff like that. But there was no genetic diseases, no autoimmune diseases. So my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute, and this is not to brag, but just to give credibility. In the hardcover, brand new in the box, my thesis sells for $25,000 each. Wow. You can go on Amazon right now. For the animal part, it's called The Diseases of Exotic Animals. Okay, it's this 1,200-page textbook that's that thick. And if you can get one that's brand new in the box, it'll be $25,000. If you get one that's kind of beat up but acceptable, it'll be anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000. If they're beat up and the cover torn off and everything, they're $4,000 to $6,000. Go on Amazon or Siri and ask how many of those disease of exotic animal books are available for sale and how much and so forth. It'll blow your mind. Okay, so anyway, then after that 10 years, you know, what do I do now? So I got a job with the Yerkes Primate Center with NASA, working with their animal colony in Atlanta, Georgia, and also the medical school there at Grady Memorial Hospital as a pathologist in Atlanta, Georgia. And 6 months into it, I run into the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, supposed to be the classic example of a genetically transmitted disease, cystic fibrosis, in a little rhesus monkey. And I didn't tell people what I had, but I sent slides around the world to all the experts in cystic fibrosis. I didn't tell them it was a monkey. I just said, I think this is, remember, this is like 1977. Okay. So I said, I think this is cystic fibrosis. What do you think? They said, this is a class, on their letterhead, this is a classic example of cystic fibrosis. Every one of them, I think 10 of them sent it back to me, got the same message. Boy, using that, I got permission to do biopsies of all the baby monkeys in the colony, and they all had cystic fibrosis. None of them related. They all had different mothers and fathers, because there was a psychologist doing research and tinkering around with their diets and created this nutritional deficiency that caused all the cystic fibrosis. So again, to make a long story short, then I let it out. Okay, this is monkeys, and everybody's all excited. Oh man, now we will have an animal model so we can study cystic fibrosis, new drugs, and all this kind of stuff. And he says, well, it's better than that. This is a nutritional deficiency. We give the nutrients, there'll never be another case of cystic fibrosis. They immediately terminated my employment. They fired me. I said, what are you doing? I figured you were going to do something crazy when I said that. So I saved all the frozen tissues from each of those baby monkeys. I saved all the blood samples, blah, blah, blah. You look at them and you see what you see. You tell me what you see. He said, no, we're not going to waste our time doing that. You're out of here. So they fired me. Okay. Well, I was in the newspaper every day for 3 months around the world, so everybody knew me. And so I got to speak at several places, and I was asked to teach nutrition and biochemistry at the Naturopathic College up in Portland, Oregon. I had never heard of a naturopathic doctor. I didn't know what it was. I'm a veterinarian, and there's physicians. I didn't know what a naturopathic doctor was. So I said, well, my wife died. The doctors actually killed her. I think they did that on purpose. I had 4 little kids. Okay, the littlest one was 1.5 years old. And so I needed that job. So I went up to Portland, Oregon, and began to teach. And so I said, I might as well take the courses and get the degrees, which I did. And so in 1982, I graduate as a naturopathic physician. And so I'm treating people my way as opposed to the naturopathic way and opposed to the medical way and so forth. And it's obviously I'm healing people. People are diabetics for 30 years, and in 30 days they're not a diabetic. People, they haven't urinated in 10 years or on dialysis 6 days a week. And in 2 weeks' time they're urinating, and in 6 weeks' time they're off of dialysis. And this is using my methods. And so it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and very, very exciting. Of course, on the human side, I took 8,000 human autopsies and put them into a book called Epigenetics. And I'm considered one of the 2 fathers, along with Bruce Lipton, on epigenetics. This replaces the science of genetics, which was a false theory. When a doctor didn't know what you had, he wasn't going to say, well, you know, I have no earthly idea what you got. We'll have to study it for a while and get back to you. He said, what's your bad genes? That took the load off of him. Okay, that's why they did that. That's why they went that direction. And so what I did was took 100 babies from the same mother and father. What? How did you do that? Bruce Lipton takes identical twins and he watches them for 30 years, especially if they're separated. They go different places and they get different diseases because it's not genetic. It depends on what diet they're in, where they live, and so forth. Well, I took a bunch of ducks, kept stealing their fertile eggs and putting them in the freezer. And when I got 100, I thawed them all out, then hatched them all. So I had 100 babies from the same mother and father, divided them into 4 groups of 25 each, and gave them different diets. Got all these different diseases from the same 100 babies in 6 weeks. So that's why I'm considered one of the 2 fathers of the science of epigenetics, that study. It's published in many languages. It's in the book Epigenetics. It's in the book Rare Earth-Bending Cures. And it was published by itself as a scientific study. I mean, nobody had ever done that. 100 individual babies from the same season, same 6 weeks that lay in eggs and so forth. Nobody ever thought to do it that way. So I've been all over the world. And in 19 let's see here, I'm trying to think of the date correctly. In 1978, is that correct? Yeah. I go to South Africa again. Okay. And I'm studying, and I go to China, and I'm studying. Go to China, and I go to Harbin. I go to Shanghai, okay, the medical colleges, PRC, People's Republic of China. My wife at the time, Dr. Malan, a microsurgeon, taught at Harvard, did research at Harvard. She's a Chinese lady, Malan, a beautiful scientist, beautiful woman. And we go and we start doing autopsies in Harbin at the medical college, and Shanghai at the medical college. And again, is that our warning?
No, you're doing good.
Okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
I didn't hear it.
Okay. So again, we published this, and it turns out after I did, let's see here, we did, I think it was like 78,000 blood tests, did 20,000 autopsies, okay? And it was kind of crazy, okay? And what we found out was that cystic fibrosis was a simple nutritional deficiency. And there's two pieces to it. One mineral deficiency caused the liver and pancreatic disease. There's another nutritional deficiency which caused the lung disease, okay? And if you had both, and if they had a gluten intolerance, they were eating gluten, damaged their intestines, they got irritable bowel syndrome and celiac disease, they couldn't absorb the nutrients. So if they were supplementing, it didn't help them. And so this got published, okay? And in 1988, I got an award from the people who do alternative medicine, okay? And then in 2011, I got the Klaus Schwarz Award, okay, for doing all this. And it's published in 9 languages. We have 25 best-selling books on the subject. And so cystic fibrosis is an easy disease to prevent, easy disease to reverse. And of course, in China, we were looking at Qishan disease, Qishan province, China. And again, I worked in the pathology department at Harbin Medical College and Shanghai Medical College, and did 20,000 autopsies between those. And it was like crazy. The whole idea was to find more information on cystic fibrosis. Well, what I'm finding is that none of these diseases are genetic. And so that's how my thesis got into the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. Very, very proud of that. And so I began to use what I was learning on my patients as a naturopathic doctor. Well, it was obvious. I'm getting literally thousands of people calling me every day. And one guy in Portland, Oregon, I couldn't handle it all. So I came up with the idea of training a bunch of people, because in medical schools, they have nurses to help the doctors, they have technicians to help the doctors. In naturopathic school, you had to do everything yourself because we didn't have technicians to help us. We didn't have nurses to help us. And so I decided to form a company that was which is Youngevity now. This was back, 25 years ago, to form a company so I could train people. We had all these books as the tools. We have CDs, DVDs, and so forth, training meetings. And now we have Zooms like this. And so that's how all this came about. And so now I have treatments for over 500, 600, 900 different diseases. And so we see a lot of people from all over the world. And so that's what makes us different. So I hope that helps you out.
That does. It does. And in fact, when we talk about all over the world right now on this call, I know we have people in Bahrain, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, and people that are on my team. I'm just so excited because it's totally different time zone there. And your protocols I have been using now for 4 years, and I have clients even today, I mean, coming off of dialysis, having kidney function
Yes.
return. And it's just totally amazing. I love it.
Yeah, well, the thing that I learned was that when you have kidney failure, there's nothing wrong with your kidneys. This is another one that the system got wrong. Well, basically, when you do a blood test, you say, well, you know, your enzymes are going up, your kidney's not functioning. So I'm a pathologist, so I'm looking at all the kidneys under the microscope. There's nothing wrong with them. They're doing kidney transplants for normal kidneys. But what was happening, the arteries that were carrying the dirty blood into the kidneys were blocked. And then the kidney was letting out a hormone called renin, R-E-N-I-N, which made blood pressure go up. So these people had high blood pressure. They had, quote, kidney failure because their blood test showed their kidney wasn't filtering the blood. So I came up with a system to increase the blood flow through those arteries into the kidneys. And even though they're on dialysis 6 days a week, they hadn't peed in 10 years, but they didn't want a kidney transplant, okay? And so I put them on my system. The blood starts flowing in through those arteries. The blood pressure comes down. The kidneys start functioning because they're getting the dirty blood now. And they're off of dialysis after they've been on dialysis 6 days a week for 10 years because they haven't urinated in 10 years. In 2, 4, 6 weeks, they're totally off of dialysis or perfectly normal. And these are the sort of things we do because, again, the system had it all wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, Dr. Wallach, we have so many people that want to ask questions. And for everybody, please, if you, as we're going through these questions and your question is similar to what's already being asked, go ahead and lower your hand. I would like to be able to let Dr. Wallach address as many different conditions as possible. Okay? So if you could please, please, please keep that in mind as we are going through. All right. So first, we have Joseph on the iPhone. Joseph, what question do you have for Dr. Wallach today? And I have asked him to unmute.
Hello.
All right, well, let's go to the next person with their hand up. Angie Benz, go ahead
Hello.
and unmute yourself.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Dr. Wallach. This is Angie Benz. I had messaged you last week regarding my father's having a stroke. You had asked what kind of stroke.
Okay. Okay, again, all I hear is echo. I cannot hear a word you're saying.
Let's see. Can you hear me
No,
now?
Angie, that's better. We were hearing a lot of wind.
I have unmuted it. I can talk louder if you would like.
That works too.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So I had messaged you last Friday regarding my father having, it was an embolic stroke.
Mm-hmm.
An embolic
Blood
stroke.
clot. Yeah, blood
Yes.
clot. Mm-hmm.
And he has, this is his third one within the last year and 7 months. He has high blood pressure, diabetes, 5'10", and approximately 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Was wanting to know the supplements and the diet you would choose.
Okay, he needs to do two things. Number one, he needs to get rid of all the bad foods. We want to maximize absorption of the nutrients, okay? And so we want to get him off of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no oils of any kind, no oils of any kind, no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, or oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. Get rid of all those things, and the efficiency of absorption of nutrients will slowly begin to go up, okay? And then when people weigh 300 pounds and you say he was 5'10" or 5'11"?
Yes,
Yeah.
5'10".
Okay, yeah. And so when somebody weighs, he should probably weigh 180, okay? So
Right.
he needs to lose 120 pounds. And he says, what do you mean I'm not absorbing? I'm 120 pounds overweight. Well, you're absorbing calories, which are very small particles compared to you're not absorbing nutrients. There's a big difference, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so particularly when you're minerally deficient, there's a behavior that develops called pica, P-I-C-A. And little kids used to chew on their crib rails when they were given that old milk formula from in the 1940s when Mama was going to work in the war factories. They invented these Enfamil and Similac, and so they only put 3 minerals in there. They didn't put all 60 essential minerals in there. They only put 3. And so these kids are minerally deficient. They're chewing on that rail on the crib, and they called it cribbing. When a horse is minerally deficient, he chews on the top rail of the stall. They call it cribbing because he's doing the same thing the babies were doing. When grandma was deficient in minerals, she would take a spoon, go out in the backyard and eat dirt, or she may have eaten wood ashes out of the wood stove to satisfy that craving for minerals. Okay, that's why those behaviors, that pica, P-I-C-A, was there. Well, if you're eating all these things, and they invented snack foods because the people are saying, we're not making any money here. Grandma's out there eating dirt out of the yard. Let's make pretzels, and let's make potato chips, and let's make corn puffs. So she'll eat that and we can get some money. So that's how that all started. Okay. And so he needs 2 of his 3 meals a day. 2 of his 3 meals a day, he needs what we call the keto caramel diet. We have a shake and we have a meal bar. It can be either one, not both at the same meal. 2 of the 3 meals a day should be a keto caramel meal. There's a lot of noise in the background. I don't know who's talking.
Okay, I was.
No, you're fine, Angie. You're fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to mute somebody because there are a bunch
I
of
did.
talkers. Okay,
I
thank
did,
you.
Doc.
Okay. And so, yeah, the 2 or 3 meals a day need to be the keto caramel meals. The 3rd meal needs to be just steamed vegetables and a couple of soft-boiled eggs, or steamed vegetables and 1 soft-boiled egg, and maybe a little serving of salmon or something like that. Okay, just like 300 calories. And he'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day on this program. But he also needs the 90 essential nutrients because he's got high blood pressure, he's got diabetes. So I start him out with 3 healthy brain and heart packs a month. That's our biggest hammer in the toolbox. So I'm going to have 3 a month of the healthy brain and heart pack, a full dose of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Specifically for the high blood pressure, I want him to take 3 of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets 3 times a day. That's 3 bottles a month. They will support healthy blood pressure, also support healthy blood flow through the kidneys. So the kidney will stop producing renin. So the blood pressure comes down, right? And then for the diabetes, I'd have him take 3 of the sweeties twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. Don't cold turkey off the medication. Take his blood sugar like he's supposed to. And as the blood sugar is coming down, he can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers, just like he was taught. And if he wants to speed things up, we have a tablet, okay, called glucogenics. He could take 3 of those at lunchtime. That'll speed things up. And so this is something within 60, 90 days, he could be, his diabetes could be gone, his blood pressure could be gone. And in 6 months to 8 months, he'll be down to 180 pounds. But he's got to stay on the nutrients. He's got to stay, okay, on the diet. He cannot go back to his old ways because then in a year's time, he'll be right back where he was.
Yep. I agree. Do you think that I'm sure that the diet, was that like the main cause of him having the stroke, is him being overweight and his body just being in such, not healthy state?
There's 2 reasons for the stroke. Number 1, his absorption efficiency was probably below 3%. Couldn't absorb nutrients even if it was in the food. You have to appreciate that minerals make up 2/3 of the 90 essential nutrients. 60 of the 90 essential nutrients are minerals. Nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. They occur in veins like coal. They occur in veins like chocolate and chocolate ice cream. And so you can be eating the same exact diet, the same recipes, the same food, okay, in Dallas, Texas, as somebody in Boston, Massachusetts. And the one in Boston, Massachusetts has high blood pressure, diabetes, fibromyalgia, congestive heart failure, and the one in Texas has no problems. Okay, because there's more minerals in Texas than there is in Boston, Massachusetts. Got it? Yeah. And so that's why we have to supplement. That's what I learned when I was 9 years old. All these animals didn't get diseases because we're giving them all these nutritional supplements. And so they didn't have to worry about what are those nutrients in the food. I don't care if it's in the food or not. I'm going to give it to them anyway. I'm going to maximize the nutrients going in proactively. And so we eliminated all those diseases, and we didn't have to pay veterinarians to come out and treat our cows and go broke treating the cows and the calves and the pigs and the chickens and everything, because we gave them all these vitamins and minerals. I didn't care what was in the food. I just assumed there was nothing in there and gave them all the nutrients, and we prevented all the diseases that kill humans. And a doctor will say, oh, just eat well and get everything you need. Don't waste your money on vitamins and minerals. That doctor should be put in jail for manslaughter.
Wow.
You cannot get everything you need from your food. I don't care if it's expensive food from Macy's, right? No. Because plants cannot manufacture minerals, and 2/3 of the essential nutrients are minerals. Now, plants can manufacture, if they're getting their nutrients, they can manufacture vitamins and amino acids, but they can't manufacture minerals.
Gotcha.
Commercial fertilizers only have 3 minerals in them, NPK, because that's all the plant needs to make good seeds for the next generation. Does the farmer get paid for how much nutrition is in the food or weight? Weight. That's all he cares about. So he's not going to give you or put a fertilizer that's going to cost him $3 million a ton when he can get away with $30 a ton.
Right.
Okay, got it?
Yes, sir. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for informing me. I'm sharing this with my mother, and we're going to try to do this as a family. And just appreciate your help so much.
Thank you
for all that you're doing.
Yeah, it's good you're doing it as a family, because if you're washing your same clothes in the washer and dryer as your dad, and you're still eating gluten, you're going to cross-contaminate him in the washer and dryer, food preparation surfaces, the couches and rugs and all that kind of stuff. And your mom will cross-contaminate him in the bed. The dog and cat will cross-contaminate him. And so everybody in the household has got to be obsessively on the same diet that he is.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe that. That is what I'm pushing for her to do.
Give us a report every couple of weeks.
Yes, and so that's what I was going to tell you. I will keep you updated.
Please.
And let you know how well he progresses.
Yeah. You know, we need to know his weight and his blood sugar and blood pressure and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, thank you, Angie. Lots of great information shared there. I hope everybody was listening. All right, so in the comments, Dr. Wallach, we have a gentleman, he's only 160 pounds at 6'4". He is 69 years old, and he has damage that's been done by the Cipro prescription. Is it possible to give the body what it needs that could have been caused by a chemical prescription?
Well, possibly, depending on what it is. Now, so I didn't get all I got was, you know, he had a problem. What are his problems?
Well, he
It
doesn't
caused me a
mention.
heart valve problem.
You're both talking. I didn't hear what he said.
Yeah, this is Brent. I'm the one
Brent,
that
go
was
ahead.
talking about. It caused me a heart valve problem.
Mm-hmm. Didn't I talk to you before?
No.
Okay. Must be a lot of people with the same problem. Okay. So, let's see here. How long ago was that?
About 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes?
No.
Okay. Did you have problems with your veins or arteries?
From the Cipro?
No. Did you have varicose veins? Did you have blocked arteries?
No. I had great health most of my life here, and I was sent to a urologist because on a blood test it said that my PSA was high, and so the urologist put me on Cipro, and I told him I was having these problems. It was hard to breathe.
Yeah. Okay. Stop. Okay, I got it. Well, PSA is prostate-specific antigen. That's a prostate issue. Okay. Kidneys are another thing. And so, what do you weigh?
160.
160. Okay. So you got to get rid of all the bad foods in your life. Everybody in your household, including the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish, everybody's got to be drop dead clean diet. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no gluten, no wheat, butter, and oats. You need to live like an Asian, live on rice, no fried rice. You can have white rice, red rice, yellow rice, but no fried rice. Excuse me. You need to eat sweet potatoes and fish, not fried. Okay. You can have poultry, but not fried, roasted, baked. Okay. Steamed, lightly grilled, nothing burnt, nothing. The fat cannot be browned. And then I want you to eat soft-boiled eggs with soft yolks, 3 twice a day. Then at 160 pounds, I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Again, that's our biggest hammer in the toolbox. I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose during at breakfast, full dose during dinner time. I want you to take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month to support healthy blood pressure, support healthy blood flow through kidneys. Okay, that's gonna be very useful here. And then because you have a prostate issue, I want you to get our ProstFX and take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And let's see here. let's start there, because we're covering a lot of territory. And, next time you go to the doctor, give us the update and status report he gives you. We want to know what's going on. Because he didn't say hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease. He said you had a valve problem, okay, which can be caused by a dilated heart, okay, and there's really nothing wrong with the valve, but the heart is dilated, okay, and then the valve leaves don't meet properly. So it can be a mechanical thing. So we'll see. And, call us every 2 weeks. Certainly call us every time you go to the doctor, get a status report, and we'll walk you through this. This all sounds very, very easy.
Okay, doctor, just so you know, I've been taking the Healthy Brain and Body Pack for several years now, and it's doing me wonders, especially right now. I've been trying to eat everything right. You've told me some new things I wasn't aware of, so I'm going to do that. And I'm also having tests done, which I have to pay myself because my health insurance won't cover it. So I will have more news.
Here's a piece I can throw at you. What you want to do is become one of our associates. It'll cost you $50 a year to run a Youngevity business, okay? Most businesses cost tens of thousands of years. This is $50 a year, $4.20 a month, $4.20 a month to run a Youngevity business. It's a willable business, and it's one of those things where we have 5,000 products. We deal with over 600 different diseases, and in your business plan, you can have a couple of paragraphs in there how your Youngevity business can pay for your health insurance, can pay for your supplement programs for your health, and it'll be a tax deduction for your Youngevity business, and you're personally going to get it for free. Now, you're also going to pay the wholesale prices either as a preferred customer or as an associate. And if you get on auto ship for your monthly order, I will pay the shipping, so you won't have to pay ship if you get on auto ship, and so that will save you an enormous amount of money. Plus, you get the tax breaks. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And since we're talking about testing, Dr. Wallach, I know that you and Dr. Ma Lan do hair analysis, and we get so many questions. What's the best place to get a hair analysis done? Mm-hmm. And if you are interested in hair analysis, we can get that information to you. If you'd like to share right now, Dr. Wallach, that would be awesome.
Yeah, well, the quick look, of course, is our book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, in chapter 11. It tells you how to collect the hair, how to box it up, where to ship it to. Don't forget to send the check with it. It tells you how much in the book. And in 2 weeks' time, you get the results back. There's many, many, many things you learn from hair analysis. To me, the most important thing is, are you absorbing or not? Because if all those bars and the different nutrients are down below the bottom line, you're not absorbing. That means you're eating gluten. That means you have all this injury to your intestinal lining and you're not absorbing. Let's say the bars for these nutrients are all over the place, but there's 2 or 3 of them that are really, really low or below that line. That means you need to take the healthy brain and heart packs, whatever secret sauces you need for your various diseases. And we have a book called Let's Play Doctor, which tells you how to do all that. Let's Play Doctor. And so you have to get off all the bad foods, the fried foods, the processed meats, the oils, the glutens, wheat, butter, oats, and sugar. And then you supplement properly on top of the 90 essential nutrients, the secret sauces for your health problems and whatever's missing, okay? And if you're not absorbing at all, in addition to getting off all the bad foods, your intestines will heal. It wouldn't hurt to throw in our ultimate enzymes, which we call the gallbladder in a bottle. It'll help you absorb essential fatty acids, which most don't, okay? And so most enzyme systems don't help you do that. And so we're very, very proud of that. And so all of these things are preventable and reversible.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us with Ask Doc Live. Share it with your friends. Just send them to askdoclive.com. They can sign up to get access to these calls every Friday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time. And if you have questions on that website, that you contact us and you can submit your questions there. Or we do have a call team that is standing by. They can be reached at 855-949-RADIO. Again, that's 855-949-7234. All right. Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and we're going to try to get Joseph on again. He had his hand up earlier. Well, looks like he lowered his hand. So next we have Debbie Martinez. Debbie, you are on live with Dr. Wallach. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. Good morning, Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. I have a client that I would like to discuss with you. He's a 79-year-old male. He weighs 175 pounds, and he's 5'10". And for the past 8 years, he's had trigeminal neuralgia. And for the past 20 years, he's had atrial fibrillation. And it's been recommended to him for his trigeminal neuralgia that he have a nerve ablation. I know from following you and listening to you, you've talked a lot about osteoporosis of the skull.
That is correct.
I wanted your input for that. And he was telling me that, well, he thinks it's due to having had a herpes infection. Yes,
I don't care what he thinks.
I love it.
I don't care what he thinks. Okay?
Okay. All right, then that's what I needed to be able to say back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now tell him Doc doesn't care what you think. If you want to die early, just keep thinking that. Okay. Yeah, he has osteoporosis of the skull. AFib is caused by a squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, causing AFib. He can also have shrunk. You say he's 5'10" now. Was he 6 foot when he was 20 years old?
I honestly don't know that.
Yeah, but you can ask him. But if he's shrunk, his cervical and first four thoracic vertebrae are getting closer together and smashing the roots of the spinal nerves can also cause AFib. Okay, so he could have both of those happening. But for sure, he's got a skull problem. You know why I know it's a skull problem? Because he also has trigeminal neuralgia, which is a squeezing of the fifth cranial nerve.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
So, talk to me about supplements. I know it's that. I just love your book.
But I'm educating our 10 million listening audience here.
You're
Sorry.
right. All right.
Okay. Yeah, and so you have to ask him, does he have any tinnitus, any ringing in the ears? Does he ever complain about that?
No.
What about balance problems, vertigo?
No.
Okay, that can happen. What about loss of sense of smell? What about vision loss? It has nothing to do with cataracts and pressure in the eye and that kind of stuff, all those things. What about, does he have any numbness and paralysis or pain in his hands or fingers and his arms? It's kind of like sciatica of the arms and hands, and sciatica down in the legs and feet, because the skull will also squeeze the spinal cord as it's coming out of the skull, causing those things. Okay, and the average doctor doesn't even remember his anatomy class, and he doesn't remember that the spinal cord starts in the brain, comes out through that back hole in the skull, foramen magnum, which is Latin for big hole, comes out of the skull. And there's 25 different diseases which people go to neurologists for. They get surgeries. They have all these different things that they suffer through. They're all just simple osteoporosis of the skull. They get off all the bad foods. They take our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. They throw in the MSM, vitamin D3, and our glucogel on top of it. Get off all the bad foods so they can maximize absorption. All these things go away in usually weeks, okay? Instead of being treated by a neurologist for 25 years.
Or have a nerve ablation. Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, well, let me say something about ablation.
Okay.
There was a guy by the name of Elijah Cummings, who is a congressman from the state of Maryland. And he was a congressman for over 40 years. Everybody loved him. You know, he was 70-something years old, a beautiful man. And everybody loved him. It didn't matter if you were a Democrat or Republican, everybody loved this guy. He was around for a long time, and he was a people's guy. And he had AFib, and at Johns Hopkins, they convinced him that they could do an ablation and get his heart beating correctly, and he could be comfortable and sleep at night and not, you know, be a mess all during the day. So he agreed. So they took him into Johns Hopkins. They put him in the surgery room. These are now Johns Hopkins cardiologists, professors, right? They anesthetized him. They cut his chest open. They take a heated soldering iron. And they touch his heart, trying to find the place that's running amok. And they killed him. They killed him in 5 minutes. Okay, and those two doctors got to walk. Oh, well, he just died of surgery. No, they killed him. They should have gone to jail for, something. Okay, and this is a terrible thing. I have to tell you, in the same study, Johns Hopkins came out just 4 weeks ago. Johns Hopkins came out 4 weeks ago. Again, Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, very famous, very beloved medical school. And they came out with a study on the top 10 causes of death in hospitals in America. The number 3 cause of death in America, they said, were medical errors. And medical errors alone, each year in America, in hospitals, this doesn't count medical errors in private doctors' offices and that kind of stuff, but just medical errors in hospitals in America alone kill between 250,000 and 440,000 patients in the doctor's workplace and in the hospitals. So now we're looking at a profession that kills 250,000 to 440,000 of their customers in their workplace every year, and they all get a walk. Nobody goes to jail. They never lose their license. Nothing happens. They have insurance in case the family complains. They pay the family insurance because they screwed up and killed the guy or damaged the guy with, let's see, what was it called? Medical errors? Okay, but thank you for allowing me to share all that.
Thank you.
Dr. Wallach, I want to let you know that more and more from allopathic medicine are coming over to our side, and I am so excited for that and the person that just asked her questions.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No.
Could you share again the name of the book that it shares in detail how and where to get a hair analysis?
Okay, it's called Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, Rare Earths, which is a type of mineral, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. We actually have a 2 CD set that'll be out next week. It's perhaps the best lecture I ever given in my life. Okay, this lecture was given in 2011 in Baltimore, Maryland, in one of the biggest churches in Baltimore, Maryland. And it's appropriate because up until that time, I had been working with Jerry Lewis on the telethon, okay? And gave him, I don't know, dozens and dozens of charts from kids that we had reversed muscular dystrophy from. He was so excited that muscular dystrophy was a curable thing, wasn't a genetic disease like they were told. So he takes it to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They fire him immediately. They fired Jerry Lewis in 2011. 2 years later, he's dead from a broken heart. By 2015, the telethon is gone because without Jerry Lewis, it was a nothing. And so I had to go on without Jerry Lewis. I walked alone without Jerry Lewis, okay, and finished up what he started. And so we were able to, April 16th, 2013, a federal judge ruled in our favor to put that one nutrient missing that results in muscular dystrophy into baby formulas like Similac and Inflamil, that kind of stuff. 1 year later, September 13th, 2014, big headlines in the Charlotte Observer newspaper from Charlotte, North Carolina. We don't know why, but sudden infant death syndrome has vanished from North Carolina. Okay, muscular dystrophy tanked because it's gone now. You haven't heard about it since 2011 because they got it put into the baby formulas. And then, of course, cystic fibrosis is gone. SID, sudden infant death syndrome. When doctors didn't know what caused sudden infant death syndrome, they blamed it on the mother. Oh, she rolled on her baby. No, only 2% of the babies that died of sudden infant death syndrome were in bed with their mothers. All the rest of them, they didn't suffocate because I went and redid some of the autopsies on hundreds of them, and they didn't suffocate. They died of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease, that same heart attack that kills young athletes, but they're only 2 months old. So a medical doctor is not going to look for a heart attack in a 2-month-old baby with no artery disease, right?
Right.
So they missed it by 1,000 miles. So I figured it out. So now we don't have any cystic fibrosis. We don't have muscular dystrophy. We don't have sudden infant death syndrome because we put all these nutrients, particularly that one nutrient, into the baby formulas. And the other one, of course, is this broken heart syndrome, which they're blaming on stress now. This is the same disease that kills young athletes. This is the same disease that kills babies. It's called sudden infant death syndrome. Okay. And if they get on our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and get off all the bad foods, there will never be another case of broken heart syndrome.
Yep. Awesome.
There you go.
So we have an individual who is writing in about a 20-year-old male. He's 120 pounds. It's 6 foot tall.
Skinny.
He's very, very thin. He was born with an undersized cerebellum. What support could this individual be given to help?
Okay, well, this is, of course, yeah, well, this is one of these birth defects. It's a physical thing. Okay, and so 120 pounds, you said?
Yes.
Get him off all the bad foods. and he weighs 120 pounds, I'd get him on 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, get another bottle of selenium. So he could take 6 selenium a day, 2, 2, and 2, or 3 and 3, whatever is easiest for him. Then I also want him to get the de-stress capsules. I want him to take 3 of those twice a day for brain metabolism. I want him, again, to get 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks, soft-boiled soft yolks. I want him to get the synaptive, okay, get 2 bottles of that so he can take 3 of those twice a day. And then call us every couple of weeks or get on with us every couple of weeks and give us a report, because I don't know how much of his cerebellum is missing. I mean, is it reduced by 10%, 20%, 50%? Is it totally not there? I mean, we need a little more information before I can predict what results he's going to get. But he'll get results, but I need to know more information before I can be more, you know, give him more of a prediction.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we have Ross Rusbaugh. Ross, go ahead and unmute yourself, and you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, doctor. Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for taking my call. I'm just gonna make it short. I am 58 years.
Okay.
5'6", and weigh about.
I'm hearing talking. I'm hearing talking in the background.
There's nobody here, doctor. It's only me.
Okay, it must be in the studio then. Okay,
And
go ahead.
I am 147. I've got ulcerative colitis, which is currently under control because of my diet. I don't take any medication, which I was prescribed 10 years ago. Medication called Lyalda.
Okay, I don't need to know that. Okay, all I need to know is you have ulcerative colitis. Do you have anything else? Any high blood pressure, diabetes? What do you got?
No, I've got vitiligo,
Okay.
and I have growing goiters. But there's nothing wrong with my thyroid. I don't have any underfunction or overfunction with thyroid, just growing goiters.
Okay, so they're just big.
And the doctor, my specialist recommended to do the surgery and take the entire thyroid out, which I refused.
Good. Okay, do you have high blood pressure or diabetes?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So, and you weigh 120 pounds?
147.
147, okay. So I want you to get rid of all the bad foods, and since you have ulcerative colitis, you need to stay away from gluten. Everybody in your household. I'm still hearing a lot of talking in the background somewhere.
I don't hear any on our side, just you, Doc.
Okay, I'm hearing it, so I don't know.
And I'm here all by myself, so there's nobody here.
Okay. All right. So at any rate, none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown, rye, and oats. And then no wheat, brown, and oats is very important here because that's what causes ulcerative colitis. Okay, that's what causes celiac disease. So you got to get rid of all that. Then I want to, he may be getting feedback from his radio and a microphone or something. I'm getting feedback or talking. At any rate, at his body weight, I want him to get rid of all the bad foods. So I can't talk over that.
Yeah, Ross, if you could mute yourself, I'm hearing that as well. So if you could mute yourself right now, Dr. Wallach will continue. Thank you so much. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Wallach.
Yeah, he probably had a bunch of grandkids in the kitchen. Okay. So at any rate, yeah, he needs to get rid of the gluten. That's what causes celiac disease. Okay. Ulcerative colitis, all that kind of stuff, okay? Got to get rid of it. Then he needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. And because he has an enlarged thyroid, I want him to get rid of also cruciferous vegetables. No broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, absolutely no cabbage, all that's got to go, cruciferous vegetables. And then I want him to get 2 bottles a month of our Ocean's Gold tablets. I want him to take 3 of those twice a day to support the thyroid function. And let's see here, since he has, he had disc problems, is that correct?
No, sir, I don't have any disc problems.
Okay, okay, so it's just
I've got vitiligo.
Oh, vitiligo, okay. Yeah, well, do you have any varicose veins or white hair as well?
White hair, I do white hair, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, white hair and vitiligo is caused by deficiency of a single nutrient. And it's the same nutrient that causes a breakdown in the elastic fibers and blood vessels. And you get to things like, you need to be muted again. All I'm hearing is talking in the background. Okay, so anyway, that same nutrient causes white hair, causes vitiligo. And that nutrient is one of the cofactors we have in our selenium. And that's why I want to give you 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs. So there'll be 1 bottle of selenium in each of those Healthy Brain and Heart packs. And it's the cofactors in the Healthy Brain and Heart pack, and it's the cofactors in our selenium. Your hair color will come back, your skin color will come back, but you got to get rid of the cruciferous vegetables. You got to get rid of the gluten, wheat, brown rye oats, so you can maximize absorption. And don't forget the ocean's gold for the thyroid. You'll be a new man.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we're coming up
Thank
5
you.
minutes to the hour. Dr. Wallach, would you like to take 10 minutes?
Yeah, let's take a 10-minute break here, and I'll be back.
Okay. All right, and everybody, if you could just continue to keep yourself muted, that would be wonderful. In order to raise your hand, I do see a couple people with their actual hand up. In order to raise your hand in a Zoom call, at the bottom of your screen, if you are on a computer, if you click on the word participants, when you click on that, it will actually give you a little button that you can click that says raise hand. Okay? Just wanted to make that clear. Again, we just want to thank you so much. We've got 76 people on this today. We want to thank all of you for being listeners and followers of Dr. Wallach, some of you of the Critical Health News team. We just want to thank you so much for joining us today. Again, if you have friends that you want to share AskDocLive.com with, please do so. There is a sign up that would then get them on the list so that they will get calls or get emails rather. They won't get calls, they'll get emails to remind them of these meetings so that they can get their questions answered as well. And the Critical Health News team is standing by if anybody is on this call and does not already have a distributor. If you are a current customer and you already have a distributor, please get with the distributor or the person who shared this call with you. Get with them and they will get you in touch with their best method of ordering. If you do not currently have a distributor, then please, you can go to AskDocLive.com, ask your questions. Somebody on staff there will get back to you and help you get the products that you need to best suit you. We also have the call team that is standing by. The number there is 855-949-7234, or we made it easy for you, 855-949-RADIO. That's RADIO. So we will be getting to people's questions. We're going to be going back and forth between hands that are raised and also comments in the comment section. As you're listening, Dr. Wallach is asking specific questions as to the information that he needs to know in order to best help you in figuring out what is the best protocol for you. So if you do type in your questions, please include all that information. All right. Are you set, Dr. Wallach?
I'm all set and ready to go.
All right. So somebody that has had their physical hand up for quite a while is Lori Bartlett. Lori, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Well, hello, Dr. Wallach. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet. How can we help you?
Well, I have a friend that has bone spurs in his shoulders. He's 150 pounds, 6 foot, 61 years old. When he increases his calcium like he's working on, will those bone spurs like go away, or because he doesn't want to do surgery?
Okay, yeah, surgery is not necessary. those bone spurs will retract right back into the bone. Bone spurs happen when you have soft bones, you have osteoporosis, and tendons and ligaments that are attached to the bone are pulling on it and pulling, just like you get the nice little spikes when you put a spoon on some cake batter and you kind of roll around and then pull it up and you get the little spike, right? Same principle. Okay, and he's okay. I got 150 pounds. He's 60 years old or 61 and 6 foot tall, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he's got to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rye, and oats to maximize absorption. And then, does he have any other issues? Any high blood pressure, diabetes, ringing in the ears, anything like that?
He has a little bit of ringing in the ears. He has restless leg syndrome.
I missed that. I missed that. You said he has what syndrome?
Restless leg.
Oh, restless leg. Okay. Yeah. All right. So he has some degenerative disc diseases. He's got maybe kind of like a little sciatica. He's got bone spurs. He's got all this stuff going on with his musculoskeletal system. And so at 150 pounds, he's got to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no gluten, no wheat, bread, rye. I know he's got to live like an Asian, live on rice and sweet potatoes and right kind of thing.
Yep. Yep.
And then I would have him take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. That's our biggest hammers in the toolbox. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose, everything twice a day. And then I would have him take our MSM. I'd have him take 3 of those 3 times a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And the MSM is a supplement that deals specifically with ligaments and tendons and connective tissue, everything from artery walls to skin to cartilage, disc between the vertebrae, and so forth, okay? So I'd have him take 9 of those a day, 3, 3, and 3. That'll be 2 bottles a month of our MSM. Then I also want him to take what we call, let's see here. I'd go with our glucogel, okay? Our glucogel, which is beef collagen. And it comes in capsules or liquids. If he wants to use the capsules, he could get 2 bottles a month of the capsules and take 5 3 times a day. 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. And then if he prefers liquid, he could get 3 quarts of the liquid glucogel and take an ounce 3 times a day, or he could take an ounce once a day and 5 capsules twice a day, however he wants to do it. But he needs 3 servings of the glucogel. And then he needs the vitamin D3. I want him to take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And where does he live?
He lives in Big Bear, California.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, people who live in California and Florida and the Gulf states and Gulf Coast of Texas and so forth, they say, well, and they live out in the desert of Arizona and say, you know, we get all this sun out there. What do I need to take vitamin D3 for? Well, because you don't get naked and lay in the sun for 4 hours every day.
Right.
You wear long sleeve shirts, you get in the shade, and you wear sun blockers. You don't get skin cancer because your doctor tells you to put sun blocker on. So the sun is useless to you. You got to supplement, otherwise you get bone spurs.
That makes sense. So the other question, if you're done.
Yeah.
I have a dog that has Cushing's disease, and I was told to avoid fat. Is that cortisol problem? I know. I know she's got to be off gluten. I know that. But
Do we have any idea how much this dog weighs?
9.75.
So 9 3/4 pounds, little dog.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so half of that's probably edema from the Cushing's disease, right? So it's probably like a little chihuahua or something like that. Okay.
Little poodle.
A mini poodle, yeah. And so anyway, basically we have a multiple product. It's a granule called Arthrodex, and it's 1 scoop for 20 pounds of body weight under normal circumstances. So I'd go with a half a scoop, okay? I'd go with a half a scoop because the dog's 9 pounds, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so I'd go with a half a scoop of the Arthrodex. I would also give it 2 of our EFAs a day, 1 EFA and 1 EFA pluses. The EFAs are from seeds and the EFA pluses are from fish. That'll prevent blood clots. And then, and then also because of the adrenal gland there, I would also give that dog some of what we call the Ocean's Gold. Ocean's Gold. It has stuff in it for thyroid. It has stuff in it for adrenal glands. Okay.
Okay.
And let's
Great.
go there.
Okay, now what causes hypothyroidism in me? I'm 135 pounds, 61 years old.
Okay, are you eating gluten? Are you eating wheat, bread, and oats?
I'm starting to get off of it now, so I'm changing.
But the answer is
everything
yes. But the answer is yes. So even if you're supplementing with the right stuff, okay, you're not able to absorb it because gluten damages the lining of your small intestines. You're below 3% absorption of nutrients. You're below 3% of absorption of nutrients when you're eating gluten, okay? So not only do you need to get rid of gluten, fried foods, processed meats, but also the cruciferous vegetables, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and kale. And per 100 pounds of body weight, you're going to take one healthy brain and heart pack per month. One healthy brain and heart pack per month. I want all those cofactors and everything that's in there. And you can, divide a dose, half a dose at breakfast, half a dose at dinner time per 100 pounds of body weight. And then I would also throw in the Ocean's Gold, 3 of those twice a day. That gives you stuff from ocean plants. Okay, we're talking about algae, all these seaweeds and things like that. We extract all the minerals from them, okay, which is really, 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 really good for the thyroid. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right. So in the comments, we do have somebody that's asking about muscular dystrophy for their 27-year-old son. We have already covered that, so I hope that you were listening. And we have somebody who is 115 pounds, Dr. Wallach, 5'4", developing cataracts, dry eye, acid reflux, and an irregular heartbeat.
Okay, well, that irregular heartbeat could be called AFib. Okay, it's possible. But it's got several things here. Okay, dry eye is due to eating gluten here, okay, and osteoporosis of the skull. Reflux is also due to osteoporosis of the skull and the squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve. Dry eye is squeezing of the 7th and 5th cranial nerves by the skull, okay, and atrial fibrillation is a squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve. And so they need, let's see, how much did they weigh? 115 pounds?
115 pounds.
Yeah, so it's one healthy brain and heart pack per month. I'd get an extra bottle of selenium, so they could take 6 of those a day. I would also throw in our Occutiv, 2 bottles of, there's only 30 in a bottle, so I get 2 bottles of Occutiv, so you can take 1 at breakfast, 1 at dinner time. Also, they're gonna need, let's see here, I would also throw in the, an antioxidant to deal with the cataracts. If it's early enough, the cataracts are reversible. There reaches a point at which the cataracts cannot be reversed and you have to do a surgery. But if you catch it early enough, cataracts can be stopped in some cases and prevent them from going forward. And if they're minimal cataracts, you might say, well, I'll just stay where I'm at here. I'm not interested in surgery, okay? But if it's very, very beginning, you want to throw in our pollen burst with SOD in it, 2 servings a day. It's either powder or capsules, whatever you prefer. And it's got the SOD, superoxide dismutase, a great, great, great antioxidant. Gets the inflammation out of the eyes. But you got to get rid of the fried foods, the processed meats, the oils, the glutens, the sugar, all that kind of stuff that causes the inflammation that produces the cataracts and contributes to osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, don't forget, if you're supplementing and you're not absorbing, you're still going to get the problem. You still have to get rid of the bad foods and supplement to get rid of the problem. And 3 of the 4 problems they cite are because of osteoporosis of the skull. The book's title is It's All in Your Head.
And I love the fact that we can get all of your publications, and I'm actually going to put this in the chat, at drjwallach.com. You'll find all of Dr. Wallach's publications, whether they be in book form, CD form, they are all there.
Yeah, that new one, that new one will be out next week, the double CD set. And we do have several of them on the ebooks, okay? You can go to audiobooks, ebooks, Apple, Amazon, Kindle, and we're talking about, let's see here, we're talking about our books, Let's Play Doctor, It's All in Your Head, Prepare, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and also in my documentary of the book for my 2 years in Africa with the rhino called Operation Express.
Oh,
Excuse
cool.
me, yeah, Rhino Express, Rhino Express.
So I have most of those books, and they take a pretty good section of my library. So having them there
Audio.
in Kindle is going to be very helpful. We can take them anywhere with us. That's
Yep.
awesome. All right. So next we have Gina on an iPhone. Gina, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Gina.
Yeah, my problem is about my husband and my son. My husband have an irregular heartbeat. He had cardioversion twice, and he have high blood pressure. He is 53 years old, and height is 5'7", and weighs 150 pounds.
Okay, this is your husband?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, the irregular heartbeat, AFib, atrial fibrillation, is caused by two different things. It could be one or the other or both. Okay, one is shrinking in height, squeezing the roots of the first four thoracic vertebrae, which control the rate and rhythm of the heart. The other is osteoporosis of the skull. And since you say is he 63 or 53? 53, I can't remember
53,
right
yeah.
Yeah, 53, yeah. Yeah, he could already have osteoporosis of the skull. So he's got to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye, and oats, no sugar. And then I'd get him on 150 pounds, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Because he has high blood pressure, I'd get him the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 2 bottles of those a month, so he can take 3 twice a day. That'll support healthy blood pressure and also healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. And I chose the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack because he's had this cardioversion, he's got the AFib, all that kind of stuff. And so the program that I've suggested for you is going to cover a lot of territory here. Okay? So let's hear from you every 2 weeks. So you can start the diet as soon as you hang up, get rid of all the bad foods. If you have any gluten at home, box it all up and give it to his cardiologist. Give the gluten to his, give all the gluten, give the oatmeal to his cardiologist. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
I just want to.
And
I'm
my
sorry.
son, my son have a muscular dystrophy.
Oh, okay.
He have a pacemaker. He is 27 years old and height is 5'7" and weighs 132 pounds.
Okay. All right. So he's got to get rid of all the bad foods also, right? No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye, oats, no sugar. He needs to eat like an Asian, rice and sweet potatoes, vegetables, fish, poultry. Beef is fine, but nothing fried. Okay. And no bacon. And there's no such thing as a good nitrate-free bacon because it has all the other chemicals in it, right? So there's bacon is out. Okay. And sandwich meats and all that kind of stuff. You can make your own sandwich meat, roast some beef and slice it yourself, right? No chemicals. Okay. Then he's right at that cusp, so I'd have him get 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. I'd get him 2 more bottles of selenium. I want him to take 9 selenium a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And let's see here. I also want him to take, let's see here. Oh, the MSM. I want him to take the MSM. I want him to take 3 of those twice a day. It'll be 1 bottle a month of the MSM. I want him to take the collagen. Okay, he needs the glucogel, either 15 of those a day, or he could take the collagen peptides, which is a powder. Okay, it's a collagen from a combination of fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. And so he might want to say, take 1 serving a day of the collagen peptides and take 2 servings a day of the glucogel, which is what I do. I weigh 142, so I'm not too much bigger than he is. So I do that. And, you know, I'm 80 years old and most people think I'm 50 when they look at me and my energy levels and so forth. I know. Okay. So yeah, please let us know how your son is doing. I deal literally with thousands of muscular dystrophy kids every year. My oldest one was a guy who was 38 years old when I met him. And yeah, 38 years old. And in just like 3 months' time, we were at a big meeting, okay, in Indiana. And he was sitting in a wheelchair. When one of the elders, there's like 400 people at that meeting, one of the elders said, okay, Wallach, you've been dealing with Amos. His name is Amos Wickies. This guy's name is Amos Wickies, an Amish guy. He said, you've been dealing with Amos here for 3 years now. He's still sitting in his wheelchair. What are you going to do about that? How can we believe you? So I said to myself, I'm in front of 400 people, so what am I going to do? So I said, okay, what would Moses do here? So I stuck out my arm straight, right? Stuck out my arm straight and pointed my finger away from Amos. I slowly rotated around and I pointed to Amos's face. I'm like 10 feet away from him. I point my hand in his face. His eyes are still closed, his head's down. I scream at him, Amos, get up and dance. He jumps out of the wheelchair. He's dancing around. He dances up the middle aisle. He dances down the side aisle and back, and he sits back down in his wheelchair. Okay.
Wow.
You know, he just turned 47.
Oh, wow.
And he's perfectly normal, right? And you know, it's one of those things where 9 years ago, you know, he had, you know, been in a wheelchair for his whole life. 37.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's great news, Dr. Wallach, because my son is so devastated. I feel like crying now. Now there's
Yes.
hope.
Well, tell him the Amos story, and he can call me on my regular radio program. I'll tell it again. But at any rate, the reason why Amos was still sitting in his wheelchair, he's an Amish guy. He took his money and bought his own wheelchair because he didn't have insurance, right? And so once he didn't need it anymore, he took it with him wherever he went. It was one of these wheelchairs that would fold up and had a chair on it. And he would just take it with him and use it as a chair because he bought it and he didn't want to give it away or sell it or anything. So he was kind of attached to it. He didn't need it from a standpoint of the muscular dystrophy, but this, you know, this elder in the Amish community thought that he still had the problem, but he didn't.
Wow. So thank you very much, Dr. Wallach.
Yeah, please
and
call
God
us.
bless you.
Thank you. Please call us every couple of weeks. Let us know how your son and your hubby are doing, okay?
Yeah, I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless.
Awesome. That's a great story. That's a great story. I hadn't heard that one before.
You haven't heard the Amos Wiki story?
I had not heard the Amos Wiki story.
Oh my gosh.
So, and I listen a lot.
Okay.
So, I just, again, you know, if you were invited here by somebody, get with the person that invited you, and get their best way of ordering the products to help get you on a path to better health. If you do not have a distributor, you can either visit askdoclive.com and find the contact us and send in an email requesting a call back. Or my co-host, who is amazing and helping me keep everybody muted and everything, is part of the phone team. You can reach the phone team at 855-949-7234. Thank you so much, Ruth Ellen. You're doing an amazing job. All right, Dr. Wallach, I need you to put on your veterinarian jacket.
Okay.
Okay? Because Joanne, she has a Quaker parrot that has lost blood from a broken feather. And she wants to know how she can supplement her parrot to build up her red blood cells.
Okay. Well, obviously, she needs to use a commercial parrot food with vitamins and minerals in it instead of just seeds. Okay. I would also give that parrot our liquid minerals and just put an ounce of our liquid minerals, just our plain minerals, okay, into, say, an ounce into a quart of water. And use that as in the water dish. And the parrot will love it because, you know, they taste those minerals, they'll go after it. And, but I do also, you know, in the commercial parrot food is going to be very useful here. But and it wouldn't hurt also in one of those little dishes you can hang on the side, you know, inside of the cage, get one of those little dishes and put our Arthrodex crystals in there. Just pour them in there and see if the parrot wants to lick that too.
Awesome. I know my dogs love our Arthrodex. They can't get enough of it. if I put them down a bowl of food and it doesn't have it sprinkled on the top, they look at me and say, Mom,
Come
you're
on,
missing
Mama.
something. They love it. All right. So next we have Jackie Lilly. Jackie Lilly, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Thank you very much. Hello, Dr. Wallach. Thanks for taking the call. I have a knee pain problem. I was in an auto accident about 15 years.
No, can I stop? Are you from Australia or England?
No, from London.
Canada?
Yes, from London.
From London. Okay. Okay. So you have a knee problem and it's from an injury.
Yes. And recently I've been getting a lot of pain, and I went to see the doctor. They said the cartilage is wearing between my knee joint. And I also have a knee spur on the inside of the knee.
Okay.
And that knee spur really gives me a lot of pain, more so than the
Okay, well, how much you weigh in pounds, Jackie?
About 165 pounds.
Okay. Do you have any other issues? How about pressure, diabetes, rain in the ears?
High blood pressure.
Okay. All right. Well, and we deal a lot with people in England and the Commonwealth and Australia and New Zealand and Canada and so forth. We deal with thousands of people in those areas, so we have a lot of experience.
Right, okay.
Okay, so at 165 pounds, you got to get rid of all the bad foods so you can maximize absorption. You need to eat like an Asian, right? Rice and sweet potatoes and vegetables and that kind of stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, oats, and no sugar.
Right.
And at 165 pounds, I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to take our MSM. I want you to take 3 of those twice a day. It'll be 1 bottle a month. And they're designed to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, so forth. I'd also have you it'll be easier for you to get in there. I think it's called the ProJoint FX, as opposed to the glucogel, which is kind of beef tissue, which, your government might not like that. So go with the ProJoint FX. Take 3 of those twice a day. Okay, it's going to give you more stuff to help your body maintain and repair itself from that knee trauma. And for the pain, we have CM cream and trauma oil. You can put 5 drops of trauma oil in, say, a tablespoon of the CM cream. You got to mix it up real good, because at night it'll settle. The cream goes down to the bottom, water comes up to the top. So you got to mix it up real good every day. And put 5 drops. Okay, put 5 drops of the trauma oil from aromatherapy oil division. Say in a tablespoon of that CM cream. Apply that to your knee, the front of the knee, the back of the knee, the sides of the knee. It'll give you 2-3 hours worth of relief from discomfort.
Right.
And then our second option, we have a hemp FX product. There's no THC in it, so it is legal in all countries all over the world. There's no THC in it. Hemp FX is called Soothe, SOOTHE. It's a little pump bottle. You can take a tablespoon of that also and put 5 drops of the trauma oil and mix that up real good. And I like to use the Soothe, say, a half hour before bedtime, and then use the CM cream and the trauma oil during the day, every couple of hours. Okay?
All right then. Okay. They were suggesting that I might need to have a knee replacement, or either the gel injection or cortisone. Well, I would not do any of those. Injection, but I didn't want any more. But don't do any. Neither the gel.
No.
Right. Okay.
No. Yeah. See, the thing is, when you start putting cortisone, it'll relieve inflammation and swelling, but it also lowers your immune system. It also causes your body to start disarming itself. Okay, it begins to, your tissues go away. Okay, so for long term, if it's going to save your life because you have a lung issue, you might want to take some of a steroid for 1 dose in an emergency situation, but I wouldn't take it for a knee problem.
Right.
I certainly would not do any surgery. And for the high blood pressure, I would get 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. It'll support healthy blood pressure, healthy blood flow through blocked arteries, including in the kidneys. And usually when you have high blood pressure, the kidneys are releasing a hormone called renin, which drives the blood pressure up. So that'll help in that area.
Right. Okay. All right. And thank you very much. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
You bet. God bless.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
God bless too. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Okay.
Again, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, we have covered so many different things, and we still have so many hands up.
Okay.
If, for those of you who have your hand up, if we have already touched on what you have questions about, I hope you were listening or you're signed up to get the replay of this message. We want to get everybody, as many different people covered in this phone call as possible. So thank you again. Now we have a question that says, if you have osteoporosis in the body, or can you have osteoporosis in the body without having osteoporosis of the skull?
And the answer is no. If you have diagnoses of osteoporosis in your leg bones, your pelvis, your vertebrae, guess what you got in the skull? You got osteoporosis. Okay, because your blood supply goes everywhere. It's either delivering the stuff to all places or no place, okay? And so anybody who says, oh, I don't have osteoporosis of the skull, well, you sit down, you look at this book with all these 25 different things. Oh, you know, I didn't realize I could have a rapid heart rate from osteoporosis of the skull. My doctor said they wanted to do an ablation. You know, they want to kill me like they did Elijah Cummings. And no, don't do that. Okay, it's osteoporosis of the skull, and it's not a heart thing.
Exactly. I knew that answer, but thank you very much. All right, so we have Jim, who is 79 years old, 6 feet tall, 205 pounds, and has edema in both ankles. What can he do?
Okay. Does he have any, he didn't say if he had any high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart stuff?
He did not. He did not.
Okay. Okay. Well, the edema
But he
in his
is
ankles.
unmuted. So, Jim,
Yes.
do
Hi.
you have high blood pressure or anything Dr. Wallach just asked?
I have, but I'm taking medication for it.
So the answer is yes, but I'm taking medication. Okay. Do you have any varicose veins in your legs?
No.
Do you have white, gray, or silver hair?
Getting there, yeah.
Okay, the answer is yes. Okay. Okay, so there's several reasons why you could have edema in your ankles. Number one, you could have arthritis in your ankles, and you know, you've got some inflammation there. Number two, if you're eating gluten for 79 years of your life, you have everything from blocked blood vessels, arteries in your belly. You have inflammation in your intestines. You have irritable bowel syndrome and celiac disease. And so the return of the blood and fluid from your legs is being stymied. It's not efficient because it can't get through all that scar tissue that's in your belly. Okay, so at 205 pounds, I want you to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no gluten, no wheat, butter, rye, and oats, no sugar. And then 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. There's 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. You weigh 205, so 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose, everything twice a day. And then, again, because you have edema, I would take 3 of the I would take 3 of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets 3 times a day. That's 3 bottles a month, and they're going to support healthy blood pressure and help you wean off your medication for the blood pressure, which all blood pressure medication has negative side effects. And then also, it will help support healthy blood flow through the arteries, which will then reduce inflammation in the arteries in the kidneys, and your kidneys will stop making renin, so the blood pressure can come down, all that kind of stuff. And you'll be amazed at how well you're going to do. Okay, but I would also throw in our MSM in case you got some cartilage problems or bone problems in your ankles. But the fact that it's in both ankles tells me it's probably this fluid obstruction and vascular return out of your legs because of inflammation in your belly, because of gluten for all these years. Okay, but it doesn't hurt to take the MSM. Take 3 of those twice a day, 1 bottle a month, and it will help repair any cartilage or ligaments or tendons, connective tissue, stuff like that going on in your ankles. If you want, you can also use the Soothe and the 5 drops of trauma oil topically on there, or you could use our CM cream and the Soothe, and the trauma oil on their ankles, and it'll do a better job than cortisone and prednisone will without all the negative side effects. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Doctor.
You bet. God bless. Let's hear from you every couple of weeks.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So we have a question. It says, Dr. Wallach, what do you know about wheatgrass, barley grass, rice stream, which is a milk, cheeses, yogurt, goat milk? Now, I know the grains, the wheat and barley, both have gluten in them. What about the grass?
Well, you're looking at cross-contamination, okay? There's a small amount of gluten even in the grass. Let's say you harvest the grass off the seeds and you don't eat the seeds, you just eat the grass. It's still can be problematic over time. I would just not do it. And it's just not worth it, okay? I would be eating things like celery and tomatoes and stuff like that, as opposed to trying to, you know, stick with wheatgrass and barley and rye and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
So Dr. Wallach, you have a product called Super Greens, which is just amazing. I take it often. That would be something that I think would probably have more nutritional value in it than the wheatgrass and barley grass.
Yeah. And what is in Super Greens?
All the veggies you need.
Yeah,
with
veggies.
The minerals.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. And so, yeah, it's better to get, you know, broccoli and cauliflower and that sort of stuff, asparagus kind of stuff, you know, as long as you don't have gouty arthritis, because you don't want the uric acid. You have to avoid that if you have gouty arthritis.
Right. Okay, so the next person we have with their hand up, we have Pat Evans. Pat, you go ahead and unmute yourself. You are live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello.
Yes, hi there.
Hi, how can we help you?
Here's my question. I have a 4-year-old great-grandson. He was born with what they say hypotonia, and the doctors have told my granddaughter that he has a mutated P10 gene. So what can I do for him?
How much does he weigh?
About 35 pounds. He has an enlarged head. The only thing that they have given him so far, since they've determined that this is his issue, is physical therapy. He is improving with the physical therapy, but he still has a lot of issues.
Yes. Okay. Well, he and everybody else in the household has got to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rye, oats, no sugar. He's got to, you know, live like an Asian, right? Everybody in the household, mom, dad, other kids, brothers and sisters, grandma, everybody's got to be rid of all the bad foods. So there's no cross-contamination. So he won't try and sneak it if he sees them eating it. He can't have it, you know, that kind of deal. Okay. So the fact that he's improving is a good sign. And at 35 pounds, what I would do is I would get him what we call Kids Toddy. Kids Toddy is a liquid supplement for babies. Kind of like Hot Toddy, Kids Toddy, okay? And I would also get him the EFAs. I'd get him the EFAs and EFA pluses. EFAs are from seeds and EFA pluses are from fish. And I'd have him take one of the EFAs at breakfast and one of the EFA pluses at dinner time. The Kids Toddy, just follow the directions for the dosage on the Kids Toddy, okay? And I would also have him take Immortalium. Immortalium is a stem cell supplement. It tells all the stem cells in his body and his brain to make healthy cells. Okay, and so I would add the Immortalium, and yeah, I'd give him, I would go ahead and give him 2 of those twice a day. You can kind of put them in some applesauce or something like that, so he'll take them. Okay.
Okay, the other part of that equation is my granddaughter's pregnant again.
How far along is she?
The baby will be due in December.
Okay, well, I hope she's done a good job of getting rid of the bad food so she can absorb nutrition. I hope she was taking supplements for at least 6 months before she got pregnant again this time. Okay, and so she's what, 3 months into her pregnancy?
Yes.
Yeah, she's past that time when the baby's formed, right? And I'm sure they've done ultrasounds and stuff like that and amniocentesis. Have they found anything wrong with this baby?
They're doing ultrasounds, yes. They have not done amniocentesis yet. And again, the doctors are saying, well, the fact that her first child had this condition, they do not think that there's a chance this will happen again. So I don't know, what is your opinion about that?
Well, if she was doing the same bad habits, okay, and not supplementing, it might not be the same birth defect, but she could get 3 different birth defects, right?
Right.
Okay. So what does she weigh?
She's very tiny. She's just about 5 foot tall. Normally she'll weigh about 105, 110 pounds. And this baby, because of the first one, because of the head size,
They did a cesarean.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would go ahead at her body weight. I would get her 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month and have her take a half a dose of everything twice a day, and stay away from all the bad stuff: fried foods, processed meats, oils, glutens, wheat, butter, and oats. Again, everybody in the household, to prevent cross-contamination in the laundry, food preparation surfaces, the beds, the couches, the rugs, dogs, cats, bird, fish. I mean, everybody's got to be obsessively gluten-free to maximize absorption of these nutrients, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Let us know how it turns out. I want to know how this baby, with his hypotonia is doing, okay, also.
Right.
I want to see how it does with the kids' toddy and the EFAs, okay? And the immortalium. You bet.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So next we have Jane A. Jane A, go ahead and unmute yourself, and you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello.
And she hasn't unmuted herself yet.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and
Here I am.
There she is. Go ahead, Jane.
Hi, I'm 120 pounds, 4'10". I've lost 4 inches.
Okay, so 4 inches, okay.
And I'm 78, and it's definitely the osteoporosis of the brain, of the skull. There's no question that
Okay, do you have ringing in the ears? Do you have that tone?
Yes, I have the tinnitus. It's not as bad. It's not bad any longer. And I've had forever high blood pressure.
Okay.
And I've begun walking, thank God, about an hour, 2.5 hours a day.
Okay, good.
Brought the high blood pressure down.
Okay, good. All right. So what I want you to do is get rid of all the bad stuff, yourself and everybody living in the house with you. You're at that age, 78 years old. If you get the COVID virus for these pre-existing conditions, which means your immune system isn't working very well and you're going to have a struggle, right? So we want to take care of this very quickly. Get rid of the bad stuff, which you're already working on that. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no gluten, no wheat, brown, rye, and oats, no sugar. And then at 120 pounds, I'd have you take 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, get another bottle of selenium, because I want you to take 3 of those twice a day. There's 1 bottle of selenium comes with it, so I want you to get another bottle so you can take 3 twice a day instead of 3 a day, 3 twice a day. And then I also want you to get the MSM. I'd go ahead and get 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal, 3 times a day of the MSM to help the bone matrix and cartilage and ligaments and tendons, connective tissue, so forth, and the osteoporosis. I'd also take the vitamin D3, go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And then I also take the collagen. I would go ahead and take either the glucogel and or the collagen peptides, take 3 doses a day. And then for whatever blood pressure remains, I'd go ahead and get 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. That'll support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. And even at your age, 78 years old, you're going to see miracles here. Osteoporosis goes away very quickly, and the tinnitus will go away. Did you ever have any Bell's palsy or trigeminal neuralgia?
No.
Okay. Do you have any vertigo or balance problems?
Yes, my feet are still a little bit during the day, not numb, but it's better. It was worse. It's better now.
Yeah. Did you have any low back problems?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that could have been a form of sciatica. It could have been your skull squeezing the spinal cord as the spinal cord is coming out of the brain through the skull, or both. Okay. And so this will take care of all of that as well. Okay. And I want to know if you regain any of that 4 inches you've lost. Okay, so keep track of, you know, if you're growing like a ½ inch a month or something like that. Okay, keep track of that and give us a call every couple of weeks. And we'd love to hear from you again, because you're going to be a great story. You're going to be a great, what should I say, incentive for older people to say, well, I'm already 78 years old. I got these problems. The doctors want to do surgery and blah, 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 blah. But you're going to give them hope, because you're going to have a super testimony, okay?
Thank you very much.
God bless you. All right.
Awesome.
What do we got here?
So, Dr. Wallach, next we have Steve Morgan. Steve, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Hi. I'm actually here with my wife, Ara, and I'll let her take over from here.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Thank
Hi.
you for doing this. I'm 60 years old. I'm 5'6". I weigh 147. I've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis 2010. I'm bone on both elbows, right knee. I had a lumbar lumpectomy on 2018, but now my X-rays generation of my disc. I need to know what can I do about this.
Okay, well, you're breaking up, but I got the gist of it. Okay, when you have rheumatoid arthritis, it's not an autoimmune disease, doctors will tell you. It's actually an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. It's kind of a bug that's kind of halfway between a bacteria and a fungus. Okay, mycoplasma.
I actually had that test done and it showed nothing.
Okay, well, don't believe them.
First diagnosed.
Yeah, don't believe them.
Okay.
Okay, and then you might want to be if that was a year ago or 2 years ago, I'd get tested again. But anyway, there is an antibiotic. Okay, there is an antibiotic that will kill mycoplasma bugs. Okay, and so I want you to ask the doctor for that antibiotic that will kill mycoplasma.
Okay.
Okay, it's called minocycline. It's one of the tetracycline family, but that's the only one that will kill mycoplasma. All right, and 147 pounds. I would have you got to get that one by prescription. It's a prescription drug, and if your doctor won't write your prescription for minocycline, say, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to terminate a relationship. I'm going to find a doctor who will write me a prescription for minocycline.
Now, I'm sensitive to a lot of antibiotics. Does that?
I'm sorry. Well, antibiotics, unless it's minocycline, it's not going to kill the RA mycoplasma.
Okay.
Okay. It's kind of like saying, well, I put a carburetor in my car. Well, what kind of car you got? Okay, I have a Ford. What kind of carburetor? I put a carburetor from a beetle bug. Well, that's why you're not getting any results. Okay, you got to put the right thing in there. Okay. Okay, and so yeah, I'd go with the minocycline. It's a prescription drug, so you got to do that. And then at 147 pounds, I'd go ahead and take one healthy. Well, you got to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat butter, no sugar. I would also get rid of anything that has uric acid in it. Okay, that will cause inflammation of the joints. Okay, because it could be gouty arthritis, and they're telling you it's rheumatoid arthritis for whatever reason they want to do that. Okay, but it could be gouty arthritis also. So you got to get rid of anything with uric acid in it. We're talking about shellfish, okay, you know, shrimp and crab and lobster and scallops and clams and that kind of stuff. You also need to get rid of organ meat. Don't eat heart and liver and kidney and stuff. Most people, modern people, don't do that, but they used to eat a lot of that kind of stuff. Okay. And then no beans, because they all have uric acid in them. You got to give all that up, okay? And then again, while you're right at that cusp, I would go ahead with 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Take a full dose of everything twice a day. I would also get the MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. That'll be 1 bottle a month to help rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc, between vertebrae, bone matrix, bone itself. I would also get, let's see here, I would get 2 doses a day of our collagen, and make sure when you order it, ask for the shellfish free. Okay, it's got to be shellfish and gluten free. Okay, so that we have those, and when you get it, it'll be a big starburst on the label saying shellfish and gluten free, so you know you're getting the right thing. Okay, that's very important. And then give us a call every couple of weeks. You can start the diet when you hang up. And then, of course, it's going to take maybe anywhere from 4 or 5 days to a week to get the product. And but so you can start the diet now.
Great, thank you. Now I do have a question. I was told, because I am bone on bone, my cartilage is destroyed. I mean, literally, you can actually see it on X-rays. Will I be able to rebuild my cartilage?
Yes, because you have stem cells, that's their job, but they need raw materials to do it. If you don't have raw materials, they just sit there.
Okay.
It's kind of like you can have the best racing car in the world, but you don't have any gasoline in it. Is it going to go anywhere?
Great. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
No, bone-to-bone arthritis, no cartilage whatsoever. It'll regrow.
All right. Great. Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. All right, Dr. Wallach. There are so many different cheeses and stuff out there made from different animal milks. Is any one better than the other?
Well, not really. When you look around the world, depending on what part of the world you're in, you know, there's people get milk from goats and lambs and sheep and camels and beef and mares and female horses. And of course, the first food that a baby gets is mother's milk. Milk is milk, right? And then one of my favorites is people say, well, I just don't drink dairy. You know, my herbalist told me not to drink dairy. Are you a religious person? Oh, yeah. I'm a believer. You know, I go to church every Sunday. Well, when you look at the Bible, where was the perfect land according to the Bible? It was a land flowing with what?
Milk and honey.
There you go. So if milk was bad for you, would the good Lord make the promised land the land flowing with milk and honey? The answer is no.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You bet. Bye.
All right. So next we have Josie L. Josie, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, doctor.
Hi.
I am 69 years old.
Okay.
I'm 194 pounds. I've had problems with, I do have arthritis. I had knee surgery. But what I'm dealing with a lot right now is getting hot flashes, and I've already been through menopause. I get night sweats, and it's just been very uncomfortable dealing with the sweats during the day on and off, like hot flashes.
Sure. Okay. Let's see here. How tall are you?
5'6", about I've shrunk about an inch.
Okay.
So.
Now, do you have any other issues? Any high blood pressure, diabetes, liver disease, heart disease, varicose veins, anything like that?
They just diagnosed me as being diabetic, but no heart. My heart pressure. I mean, my
blood pressure is okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So you do have diabetes. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Very good. So I want you to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rye, no sugar. And at 194 pounds, I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. And if you get rid of the bad foods, you're going to lose some weight. Okay, so I'm not going to put you on the weight loss program. I just want you to get 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. Because you have the arthritis, I want you to get 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal. Okay, it's going to help rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself. All right. And then for the type 2 diabetes, I want you to get 2 bottles a month of the, let's see here, Sweeties. I want you to take 3 of those twice a day. Take your blood sugar every day. And as your blood sugar drops, you can slowly reduce your medication based on the numbers. Don't just cold turkey off your medication. You know, do it by the numbers, right?
Okay.
And it could take days or weeks. It's going to happen very fast. Okay. And then because you have all these hot flashes and night sweats, and even though people go through menopause and male pause and all that kind of stuff, you still need a certain level of hormones, okay? So I want you to get what we call Xerafem. Xerafem, it's a tablet. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of Xerafem. And 194 pounds, I want you to take 3 of those twice a day, Xerafem. And I want you to get 3 eggs twice a day. This will be soft poached, soft yolk, soft boiled, soft yolk, soft scrambled in butter.
Okay.
You cannot get scrambled eggs outside the house because they'll put flour in it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so let's start there. And you'll, like I say, you know, weigh yourself twice a week or once, because you will lose weight by getting rid of all the bad foods. because you'll start absorbing the minerals and your appetite will drop considerably. And that Xerafem and the eggs are going to help you make some hormones. I mean, you need hormones even though you've gone through menopause. And it's kind of interesting. You got to be careful, I'll warn you, because I get women who are in their 60s and they say, well, yeah, I haven't had a period in 10 years, 15 years. I said, well, just pay attention. Just watch it. I get them, they call me, they're 65 years old and said, Doc, I'm pregnant. I said, I warned you. I told you. Be careful.
Now, you said a Xerafem. How did you spell that?
X-E-R-A, Xera, Femme, F-E-M-M-E.
E-M-E. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you heard of women at this age?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I've been wondering, how could I be getting all this, these hot flashes? It's
well, see, your ovaries are not the only tissue that produces estrogen. And so let's say your ovaries stopped producing estrogen when you were 55, but your adrenal glands are still producing some estrogen, right?
Right.
And so there you go. Well, now maybe all your glands have stopped producing estrogen. So that's why you're going through hot flashes now and sweats and so forth. But you need the eggs, okay? You need the Xerafem, right?
Yes.
Okay. And give me a call every couple of weeks. You're going to be a great testimony for a lot of ladies out there with similar problems.
All right, doctor. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you, Josie L.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I can attest, get your body on the minerals, your body's going to let go of the weight it doesn't need. I mean, my first month being on Dr. Wallach's Pig Pack Plus.
That goes way back.
I lost 20 pounds just doing that.
Without even trying.
And over 4 years, I'm down 90. So I'm loving it. Just the minerals. It's not a yo-yo. It's been very consistent. So
thank you for sharing,
Dr. Wallach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we have Terry Lewis. Terry, my man, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Terry.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
How can we help you?
Yeah, I'll make it brief. On sleeping, when I turn from side to side, I would have this belching, flatulence. It lasts, and I also have accumulation of saliva in my mouth, and I feel like I want to vomit. And it's been happening for about 3 months.
Okay, this is when you're laying down and you're asleep?
Right, and I might turn over my side or either side, and it seems like I'll get very gassy. I flatulate, and I'll also begin to vomit. And some ones I wake up and the saliva's collected in my mouth.
Okay. Let me ask you two questions. How old are you, sir?
60.
Okay. And do you have any history of any tinnitus, any ringing in the ears, kind of like that tone thing? Do you have any vertigo or dizziness problems?
No.
Okay, you had to think a little bit there. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes I spin myself around to get vertigo. But it's self-induced.
Okay. And then, let's see here. Do you have anything going on in your hands and arms, any tingling or numbness in your hands or arms or pain in your shoulders?
No, I do have rheumatoid arthritis. I have some nodules on my wrist, on my left hand, and some separation of the joints on the right hand.
Okay. Any low back stuff?
No low back stuff.
Okay. All right. So, and how much do you weigh again?
I weigh 200 pounds.
Okay. All right, 200 pounds. I want you to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, rye, oats. I want you to get 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs. Take a full dose of everything twice a day. The MSM, take 3 of those twice a day as 1 bottle a month. Take 3 servings of our collagen a day. Glucogel, it could be 2 bottles a month and 5 of those capsules 3 times a day. Or the collagen peptides, whichever one you want to use. Let's see here. I would also take our vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day, it's 2 bottles a month. And then it's one of those things where I think you have osteoporosis of the skull because it's a positional thing. You're getting gas and saliva stuff. It could be your skull squeezing the 4th cranial nerve or the 5th cranial nerve and that kind of stuff, causing those problems when you have osteoporosis. And the fact that you have rheumatoid arthritis, you should get a prescription for minocycline, which is the antibiotics that will kill the mycoplasma bug that causes rheumatoid arthritis. That's prescriptions. minocycline, like the bait fish minocycline, okay?
Yes.
It's a member of the tetracycline family, but it's the only one that will kill mycoplasma, which is the cause of rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is not an autoimmune thing. It is not a genetic thing. It's an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. I'll say curable because you can kill the bug with minocycline, okay? And you can actually repair everything with the supplements I just suggested for you, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, give us a call every couple of weeks, and it'll be one of those things where I want to make sure that we're getting, what should I say, your story out, because you're going to have a great testimony to share with everybody.
All right, thank you, doctor.
You bet.
So I know Terry already has a great testimony, Dr. Wallach. So he's just working on more.
Okay.
All right. Last person with their hand up, we have Joe Lynn. Joe Lynn, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Okay, I'm 72 years old, 6 foot tall, 183 pounds. My arteries are heavily plaqued with calcium, and I have prostate cancer. The 25 radiation treatment also has internal radiation. And I just got diagnosed that I have thyroid cancer, 1.8 centimeter.
Okay, so you have two different types of cancer.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Any high blood pressure, diabetes?
No diabetes, and the blood pressure is good, but I do have ringing in my ears.
Okay, so you do have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. Wouldn't hurt to get a second opinion. Have somebody in another hospital, preferably a teaching hospital. I'd get, one of their pathologists to look at the slides from your prostate and your thyroid. It's just kind of weird that you have two different types of cancer. And so I would make sure your doctor's not using you to put his kids through college. Okay, so I'd get another opinion here. And you weigh how much?
183.
183. Okay, so none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, barley, wheat, rye, or oats, absolutely. And of course, that includes beer. If you're going to drink beer, it's got to be Japanese or Chinese. It's made from rice. You can have wine because it's made from grapes and berries, right? None of the stuff, no whiskeys or anything that are made from wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No beer made from wheat, barley, rye, or oats. And then at 193 pounds or 83 pounds, whichever it was, it doesn't matter. I'd go ahead and get 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I would also get the, let's see here. I would get the antioxidants that's going to support your immune system. I would get the pollen burst. It comes in either powder in a canister or capsules. Either way, I want you to take 2 doses a day of the pollen burst with SOD in it. It's going to support your immune system. I'd also get the Cell Shield RTQ. Again, take 3 servings, or excuse me, 3 servings of that a day. That'll be 3 bottles a month of those. And lastly, I get the BTT 2.0 tablets, get 2 bottles a month of those. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. The BTT 2.0 tablets do not, I will repeat, do not replace the BTT 2.0 powder, which is vitamins and minerals. The BTT 2.0 tablets are our most powerful antioxidants we have. And so since you have been diagnosed with 2 types of cancer, I would go ahead and throw that in there. But I would get second opinions. You don't have to have biopsies again. Just have them forward samples, from your biopsies to the pathologist at the closest medical school and ask them to look at it and see what their view of it is. Okay, and then call me and let me know if they say the same thing or if they say something different. Okay.
Okay, my prostate cancer was verified by Stanford and by UCLA.
Okay, that's good enough.
And my thyroid cancer it's diagnosed by Stanford, but nobody else yet.
Yeah, I'd get a second opinion still. But at any rate, go ahead with this program because it's going to be good for either one of those or both. Okay? Then give us a call.
I also have weak knees.
Yeah, well, then you can throw in your MSM.
Okay.
MSM. Take 3 of those 3 times a day, be 2 bottles a month because you're a big guy. And that'll support maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself, including weak knees. And then I would throw in 3 of the vitamin D3 capsules twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And then, call us every couple of weeks and let us know what the status of everything is. Okay.
How do I get zinc? How can I get zinc?
Okay. Well, there's zinc in our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but if you want extra zinc, which is good for your immune system, your T cells, your T lymphocytes, we actually have a little wafer. Okay, it's just called Zinc FX. Zinc FX. Okay. And it comes in, it tastes like raspberries. We give this to kids who have chronic infections and things like that to help their immune system. I take one of those 3 times a day. So I go through 3 bottles a month. They come in little bottles. And so they're about the size of a dime in diameter. They're about 1 millimeter thick. And they taste like raspberries. So little kids love to suck on them and everything like that. I just swallow them. Okay, but again, I'm 80 years old. My immune system can kick butt, okay, because, I take everything, including that extra zinc. Good thinking.
Great. Thank you so much.
You bet, sir. Okay.
All right. We are at the top of the hour, Dr. Wallach. Okay. Thank you so much. You are such a trooper.
Well, thank you. God bless everybody. Weren't they having great questions? So I'll say aloha, oi. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, everyone, for being on with us today at Ask Doc Live. If you want to get a copy of this recording, then go to askdoclive.com and make sure that you have signed up for the newsletter there. That will then make sure that you get a replay or a link to the replay. We are so very, very thankful to have all of you join us. I think at one time we had 80 people on today. That is so awesome. Please share this with your family and friends. We do want to make sure that we get to as many people as possible. That's why we're hosting this show. There are so many people out there that just don't know how beneficial nutrition can be, and that there's so many different things out there that have been mislabeled, that nutrition can help rebuild the body. I mean, you give the body what it needs, and the body does some miraculous things. So again, thank you so much. I'm so glad that we were able to get through so many calls today, so many different conditions. Join us next Friday, same time, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time. Again, 8 a.m. Pacific time, that's 9 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock Eastern. And you'll have to use a little calculator to figure out beyond there. But we thank you so much again for joining us. I am Becca Krozak. It is my honor and privilege to be here with you today. Again, if you have a distributor, get with your distributor and get on the products that you need. Many of them have a health evaluation that you can take that then asks the same questions that Dr. Wallach asks, and it would then help to figure out what's the right protocol for you. So get with your distributor. If you do not already have a distributor, visit askdoclive.com and click on Contact Us from the menu bar. You'll be able to connect with the distributor there that will be able to help you in getting the products that you need. Also, if you would rather just do a phone call, we do have our phone team that is standing by with amazing people on it, like Ruth Allen, that you can call. That number is 855-949-7234. Again, 855-949-7234. Everybody have a very, very blessed weekend and next week, and we will see you again in 1 week. Have a great one. Thanks for joining us.